Living well doesn't necessarily mean living large. In this episode, we're exploring inspiring small homes on 4 different continents. Welcome back to our channel. Please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell to receive our periodic updates and be a part of the community if you haven't done so yet. Meet the Brook. The Brook looks like a tiny home but is actually an absolutely gorgeous and very spacious passive house. It's located in Rose Brook, Australia, right next to a river that floods the area during rainy season, and then it becomes a sort of floating home nearly cut off from the rest of the world on purpose. The idea behind the Brook was to show that excessive home design must be rendered obsolete. You can get the same kind of comfort and elegant living in a much smaller footprint if it's done right. More importantly, you can lower your overall carbon footprint, and the Brook comes heavily into play here. As a passive house, it incorporates plenty of recycled materials throughout, is relatively affordable, and is capable of going off-grid altogether for a number of days. The roof is expandable via telescopic framing. Once it's delivered to your destination, whatever that may be, the frame lifts up and panels of wall fold down into place. The same mechanism is applied to the interior ladder, which goes up into the ceiling to offer more space inside the dinette. Just as importantly, the Brook is made to go off-grid if need be. It has solar panels on the roof and a system of batteries and a backup generator for that. Let's visit the Metal Lark Tower designed by David O'Brien Wagner. Metal Lark sits within 140 acres of former farm fields. The rolling woodland and prairie have been replanted with native prairie grasses by the owners. The specific site was selected for its overlook to a small lake, as well as the shade provided by a mature line of trees at the crest of the hill. By setting the building just downslope from the tree line, the building is partially concealed and has privacy from the drive. A raw, uncoated corrugated steel wall envelops the uphill side of the house. The facade's thick, super-insulated wall structure buffers the retreat from prevailing northwest winter storms while also hiding views to the lake beyond, saving the big reveal for when one enters. Inside Metal Lark, the line of the bridge continues out the other side, where the windows and door open to the landscape, and an elevated deck cantilevers over the hillside. Living space is accommodated on 2 levels, each with an efficient footprint of 20 feet by 20 feet. The owners asked for a modern building, durable materials, and a small footprint. They were interested in accentuating a verticality of form while providing expansive views of the landscape. The owners also wish to minimize the ecological footprint of the building, leading the design team to conduct comprehensive energy modeling and develop numerous sustainable strategies. Let's visit the cabin Stromsness, designed by Rever and Drag Architects. It is a modern complex that overlooks the Norwegian Sea. The pool is another thing that was kept and redesigned for this project. The modules are elevated and designed to be like traditional shelters, protecting the structure and residents from strong winds. Each module serves a different purpose. Equally important are the large windows that provide the residents both with natural light and spectacular views. This way, the inside of the house feels connected to the natural environment and coastline surrounding the house. Meet Casa R, designed by Felipe Lagos. Casa R is a holiday refuge for extreme climates located halfway up the Andes Mountain, specifically at the town of Vilches in the southern region of Chile. The placement of the cabin in the land is to insert it in the middle of the forest looking towards the northern valley. This house has 2 floors in order to rescue the views of the valley above the trees, foliage, and landscape. This decision also has to do with occupying the ground on the first floor to avoid the ecological damaging of removing trees. Because of this, the house placement didn't affect any type of native tree or plant. This cabin's elevated from the ground, has slopes on the terraces, and 2 floors. The slopes dialogue with the naturalness of the terrain in order to reduce costs in foundations and radiers. The roof also has a steep slope to protect it from the snowfalls in the winter. The structure materiality is steel, such as all other protection products, mainly because of the resistance to the fire and water. Also, pine woods in general, and mainly like monolithic coating, was used on the tables of pine coated with carbonellio. Thanks for visiting. Please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell to receive our periodic updates and be a part of the community if you haven't done so yet. Stay tuned.